Yep. We're doing this. We're doing this. Yeah, we're doing this. Go ahead. Let's do this. Oh, Lord, we're doing this. We doing this. But it needs to be done. I hope you got all your stuff out. I hope you got your drink, your peace pipe, your what you may. And if you're under the age of anything, honey, I hope you got a snack. I hope you got just something to sit down and kiki. You know what I mean? Because listen, if you're like me, you talk to the screen, you're like me. So talk back to me, bitch. I may not be able to hear you right now, but comment below so I can hear you later. But talk while I'm talking, because bitch, it can feel like a conversation. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know, I did a video about a couple days ago, and now that this is up, where I talked about Jesy's new song with Nicki Minaj, which some of you like, some of you don't like, some of you hate it. And okay, so some of you were mad at me for giving it a bop, right? And I understand, you know, it's my opinion, but yet, even though it's my opinion, you know, it's a community of us, right? And so it can feel like my opinion can be the end all be all in some cases, which bitch is not. But bitch, I thought it was cute, okay? I thought the song was cute. Some of you bitches said, this is a chop. So then I went back home, and me and my boyfriend, we watched it and listened to it a couple times. And my boyfriend said, oh, babe, you gave this a bop? I said, oh. He said, I don't think this was it. He said, I love Jesy, but I don't think this one is it. And okay, so I said, okay, wait a minute. Let me watch this back. Let me keep watching it back to figure out what's going on. And as I'm listening to it, I can hear how people feel like it may feel like it feels cheap. It may feel like, you know, why the sample? Because you want, when you pop out as a solo artist, especially being in a group, you want to come out originally and you want to make an original piece. But then it's a lot of undertones under that, right? It's a lot of undertones on why that sample is like, why would you use that sample, right? I think that the bridge or the pre-chorus of the song is, I think that's really, really nice, because I love that moment, and then it goes into the I love a bad boy. But then, as I'm reading the comments, some could say that her loving a quote unquote bad boy can equate to how representation or the symbolization of black men. And here I go being optimistic. I'm like, no, she don't think that. And then you know me going to a HBCU, bitch. And learning everything black, everything started to kind of rush back to my brain. Like, bitch, you've been in LA a little too long, ho. Wake. And I said, well, goddamn, you may have a point. We're talking about blackfishing, and we're talking about using black culture and the appropriation of black culture, which has been a conversation that had been had a long time ago. And I think that's why Jesy is getting a lot of backlash, because this blackfishing thing has been a thing for a long time. It's not just Jesy that's doing this appropriating a black culture thing. I mean, a lot of mainstream white women artists have been doing this before her. So I look up the definition of blackfishing, right? And it says commonly, Urban Dictionary, commonly perpetrated by females of European descent, white, which involves artificial tanning, spray tanning, and tanning booths, and using makeup to manipulate facial features in order to appear to have some type of black African ancestry. The general point of blackfishing is for a female of European descent to appear African, Arab, or Hispanic ancestry also. Some consider it to be equivalent to modern day blackface because it capitalizes off the looks of historically oppressed groups of people by people who come from more privileged backgrounds. I remember when Little Mix was like bubbling up in the US, like when it was starting to become popular in the US, and everybody was like, who is that mixed girl? Not talking about Leanne, talking about Jesy. And I used to be like, mixed? Girl, she white. and I wouldn't say it to be like malicious or anything, but I used to be like, girl, she white. What are you talking about? And like around 2016, 2017, Jesy used to get a lot of backlash about spray tanning too much, or her tan was too dark, because she was looking as dark, if not darker, than Leanne in the group. Let's talk about it. I feel like people act like they don't remember. Like, and I remember people used to confront her, and she's like, it's not, and she used to say then, it's not giving that, I'm not trying to be that. And she addressed it then. So this whole like, this whole like Jesy just now kind of addressing, or she had no idea. I wouldn't call it I was about to say it's not a lie, but it could be a fib. Okay, it could be a little white lie, because I remember it being a press thing about 5 years ago, when people were talking about her skin tone and how she spray tanned too much, at least over here in America. I don't know about the UK, but over here, the girls thought she was mixed. Okay, honey, she was exotic. People thought she was probably like Brazilian or like Hispanic or something, Portuguese or something that got melanin in it, bitch, that got a little color to it. That ain't just whiting from English. Hello, mate. I want to know if she's blackfishing, but does she not want to look like a white woman? Probably not. Because here's the thing, Jesy, I love you. I still think highly of you, even after all of this. I hope you don't think that I hate you or anything like that. But I got to keep it real with you, bitch. I got to, mama, I got to. I just feel as though speaking of blackfishing, I feel that what white woman, let's be honest, let's talk about it. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. I'm going to go there, all right? So if I piss you off on Twitter, I don't give a shit, really. It's just Twitter, girl. Here's the thing. And there's not a lot of white women in current day right now that want to be white women, right? You got your Taylor Swift, your Olivia Rodrigo's. Rodrigo is not white, so I take that back. You got Taylor Swift. Yeah. I feel like Taylor is the last white woman. Like, I just want to be white. Don't try to come at me about I just want to be white. I like being white, And I was about to say Halsey, but Halsey's technically black, but we won't go there. Oh yes. People forget that Halsey has a black father. She's a black woman. Technically. She passes as white, but that's a whole nother conversation about, racial and identifications, and girl, it's a whole nother key. But I look at my bitch Halsey as she's like Mariah Carey, you know what I mean? Like, bitch, you got that. You got it. I got you, bitch. I'm here for you, Halsey. The white woman is not dominating the industry. Even Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga claim Italian, which is white. White. However, it sounds better than I'm white and Caucasian. Does that make sense to you? It's just because we're in the day and age where white is almost evil, or their ancestors of white is starting to become prominent, and a lot of people are trying to educate themselves on white. It comes down to no genres of music are not owned by a race or a certain type of person, but however, I ain't seen too many white women besides my bitch JoJo, but once again, I don't know. JoJo comes off. We don't bring JoJo up when we talk about race. At least I don't. JoJo is just a talented singer, and I don't care what genre she can sing pop, R&B, and I would stand. But usually and commercially, which is probably why JoJo hasn't really popped off. Let's talk about it. Oh, I'm about to trigger bitches. Because these are the conversations I have to myself and my boyfriend, and I'm just going to keep it real and keep it 100 here. Okay, bitch? JoJo is fucking phenomenal. However, she's a white woman singing R&B music. And some people do not, and the thing is, I see people on Twitter bashing JoJo's new album, go stream it. And people are saying like, oh, well, y'all love that bitch JoJo. I don't see what's so popping. The bitch is talented down. Are you kidding me? The bitch can sing. But it shouldn't have nothing to do with her skin color, because JoJo represents as a white woman. I don't know if she's white. I could be wrong. But what it looks like, she looks white. And she does not try to alter it to be anything else. She just gives off white. And she has been doing that since she was a kid. I thought of this white girl, and she was getting down with the black folks, but wasn't trying to appropriate it. She stayed in the white woman lane, but just know how to sing R&B music. But that's why she isn't popping off like she should be. JoJo deserves, that's a whole nother video, but my bitch JoJo deserves, okay? But the reason why that's the case is because white women singing this kind of thing, it doesn't really work. So then you got white women like, okay, bitch, let me tan a little bit, give myself a little lip, give myself a little nose cinch, give myself a cheekbone that's higher, because, black people naturally have higher cheekbones, and, fuller hair, and I'm not black, but I can blend in, right? It's almost like we're no longer the minority, but we are still the minority, bitch. And that's when the blackfishing starts to click. And that's when people start to accuse you of blackfishing. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but what the fuck do I know, right? So then you can say, okay, well, Jessy's appropriating black culture. Technically, yeah. And if you don't think so, you must be crazy. I mean, let's talk about it, right? She has a song about Bad Boy. And now she's, sampling and being inspired by, if not one of the first big major musical black, I would say modern, from 2000, 1999 to 2000 moment era of music, which was Bad Boy Records. And that was blackity black, and it put on for black people and us in the hood that was watching that on BET. That's us. As much as people don't like Diddy either, but Bad Boy is us, right? And so she uses that, and Jesy used that. But let's talk about it. Blackfishing is borderline, appropriating black culture and blackfishing in the industry, at least, is almost like borderline marketing. And I hate to be this person to tell you, but ooh, I'm about to really just piss people off. But that's what people are marketing. Unfortunately, marketing to us, because, okay, she's a white British woman from the UK. What is she going to talk about for you in the United States, black, white, whatever you think you are, okay? But whatever you are, whatever you identify as, right, in the Americas, what does she have to say to you as a white woman from the UK? Nothing. So they brought Nicki Minaj on, a black woman, so make it seem like a little bit better, a little okay. And they used a Bad Boy sample, which is familiar to our American ears and American black ears, and American ears. And let's put Diddy in the video to really just put the seal on it, right? It's geared towards Americans, clearly. She wants to be over here in America. You want to pop in America. And I'm not saying that you have to be to blackfish or to market to black people or use our culture to pop over here. Clearly, it's been done before from a lot of UK artists like Adele, Dua Lipa. White women have done this before. Do not get me wrong, bitch. However, Jesy comes from a girl group that was predominantly in the UK that sung songs that are predominantly for the UK audience of younger kids and stuff like that. So her crossing over to the US, she needed to change it up. She got to do something different. Unfortunately, they missed the mark and they missed the ball because they tried to market it as, look, black people approve. Diddy, Nicki, they approve. It didn't work that well because this is our first time seeing Jesy on her own, at least. And if you don't know Little Mix, this is your first time seeing this white woman at all. So this is your first time seeing this woman, and now she's looking a little bit too black, and we're sick of it in America, right? And so here we are. This is where we're sitting here having this conversation. So as I was watching the music video, I am used to Jesy. I know Jesy likes a tan. I know that she likes bigger, curlier hair. And she, cosmetically does her shit, right? Which I don't shame anybody for doing what they want to do to feel sexy or how they feel they should look. That's not my place to tell you what you should do. However, when you using references of black culture, literally Bad Boys and that whole Bad Boy era with Diddy involved, and then one of the most successful black female rappers in history, it starts to become okay, what are y'all doing here? It's sniffy here. It just doesn't come off genuine. It doesn't come off right. It comes off as a marketing ploy, and it comes off, you are definitely, you can tell that you're trying to reach for a market that is probably wasn't going to check for you in the first place. And this is me, just like I said, I love you, bitch, but I'm just being real. And that's why people, not only the reason why, but a reason why people are like, bitch, what is this? It's almost like Lotto, even Lotto in America. Unfortunately, you have a light-skinned woman I think she has a white mother or something like that. So, and she's, flaunting that she's a mulatto, which is a derogatory term, especially in the slavery days in our history. So it's just even she got this kind of backlash. Bitch, you got to change your name because this is not working. I guess black people are just tired of us being stripped and Mulatto's black. Mulatto's black, by the way. And black people are just sick of seeing the mockery of our swag, of our juice, of our flavor being mixed and turned and flipped and dipped into all these different types of faceted ways. Unfortunately, Latto had to be bullied out of her name. I'm just breezing by this, but it's just like, girl, you should have known better not to name yourself, Mulatto. And now there's a hate train of her because Big Energy is not doing good at all. And y'all not listening. Ain't nobody streaming that song, girl. And it's only because of her previous reference of, okay, I'm a mulatto. I'm gonna need you to. No, we don't want to flaunt that. We don't want to endorse that as black people. And so now she's still trying to outlive that. So Jesy, that's why I'm like, girl, I'm kind of concerned for you for your future, bitch. So now let's talk about the meaty shit. Leanne, Jesy, and Little Mix, right? Now, and Nicki defending Jesy against Leanne. All right, so we're doing this, right? We're doing this. I feel like this. I love Leanne. I think Leanne is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life, and that's without fame or famous. And I'm team Leanne on this. I'm just cut to the chase. I am team Leanne on this. Abso-fucking-lutely. And the only reason why this, let me tell you something. We don't know what happened in that girl group. Even you, Nicki. And Nicki, I'm not about to come up here and drag you, Nicki, because we know how my history are with you in 2018, bitch. I ain't got time. I ain't trying to go back down that road. I finally made myself good with you, bitch. Well, at least in my eyes. And I give you your tens where tens are due. But, bitch, I am going to tell you when you are wrong like I usually do. I am. You are tired for this, bitch. And ain't nobody trying to steal your joy because I'm proud of you. I'm happy if you staying out of drama for about 2 years. I'm happy and proud of you, bitch. You had your kids, you got your husband, you minding your business, bitch. You writing your album, hopefully, and you doing your goddamn thing. Why would you get involved in this? And then it dawned on me. I said, why would you get involved in this, bitch? Why? I'm like, why would Nicki get involved? I hope you got a snack because it's going to be a long one. I'm talking, bitch. We're talking. And I'm like, why would you do this, Nicki? Why would you do this? Oh, because it'll make you look really dumb to be collabing with the BLACKFISHING girl and put your name all over it. It's too late. You're too deep in. So now you have to defend it because if you don't defend it, you will look a little crazy by even agreeing to hop on the track in the first place. Nicki's points were, well, it's been going on for years, BLACKFISHING, and y'all favor other celebrities been doing this. That does not make this right, Nicki, baby. This does not make it right. You have a point, but your point is invalid when you're saying basically, well, it's already being done, so we might as well just be over. We might as well let it happen. Like, you might as well just let this girl from the UK just live her best life and live her dream. And it's like, no, you are a black woman too, Nicki, honey. So it's kind of just like, bitch, you letting this slide? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that we're not about to start a Nicki Minaj hate train again, girl. That's not about to happen. Let's not get carried away for the haters that love to hate on Nicki back in the back. It's okay. This ain't your time to shine, bitch. We just let my bitch know that this is not right. Okay? I was seeing too many tweets of, well, Nicki she lost her shit again. Like, wait, calm down. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Even the biggest bosses slip up, okay? Nicki, you have no right to speak. Neither do I, by the way. But you have no right to speak about this girl group and what these girls have been going through. And you say, well, Leanne, because, it really made me mad when you was trying to dig at Leanne, because Leanne don't even, jealous? Jealous? Leanne, jealous? Now, I heard a lot of crazy things in the world, but Leanne being jealous of Miss Jesy, I have never heard of. And I just know too much tea off camera, so I'm just going to leave it to myself. But all I'm going to say is Leanne has no reason to be jealous of Jesy, and that's not saying like Jesy is less than bitch, because Jesy is a bad bitch too. However, there is things that happened behind the scenes off camera and happened within that girl group, honey, that we, or maybe you, don't know about. And I will say this. Ooh, because you know me. Listen, I am not a tea channel, so you won't get no tea up out of me. I'm not about to sit up here and misspill what I know and all this and the other, but I will say this. Leanne has been going through this for a while behind the scenes, bitch. I wasn't calling Nicki a bitch. I'm talking about bitch in general. If you don't know, honey, let me tell you something. It got to a point where Leanne had to be like, girl, can you tone the tan down just a little bit? There's only one black girl in this group. It's not two. Those comments that I was hearing like, oh, she's another mixed girl, exotic girl. No. Bitch, Leanne used to be like, wait a minute. This is, okay, all right. But because they were in a group and it is a business, Little Mix is a business. It is an estate. These women have sold millions of records, right? So they don't have time to try to cause controversy between each other and be like, all right, bitch, you should have did this, that, and the third, and I'm calling you out on it. When we're on the same stage, same tour, same dressing room, and all this and the third. I don't have time to sit up here and blow our cover. Bitch, our job is to entertain millions of people, so I'm going to do that. And that's what Leanne was doing. She was being a professional, caring about the fans first, and her internal problems within the group, they left to the behind the scenes. And I love that. But that's not where we're not going to sit up here and say, well, you had 10 years to say something. Nicki, that's not right, baby. And you out of all people, Nicki, talk to me, girl. You should know about keeping your things behind the scenes until it's right to talk about. You know better than anybody than that. You know about that more than anybody. Come on now. So it's just like, the fact that you're like defending Jesy against her is like insane to me because I'm like, bitch, you don't know what's happening. 2, you don't know what kind of mental trauma Leanne went through. The fact that you tried to flip it on the mental health thing, I'm clapping because I'm like, girl. The fact that, Nicki, you tried to say, well, it's y'all tearing down this girl's time and her mental health. What about Leanne's mental health? What about Leanne's mental health? About being the only, first of all, colored girl in this group of white women, right? Besides Jade. Jade's a little something. But we're going to just call her white too. No, my bitch Jade, honey. But listen, we don't know what conversations Leanne had with Jesy to maybe, hey, can you turn this down a little bit? Can you not do this? Because it makes me uncomfortable. Or it confuses people that you are not white and you're not colored, you're white, girl. Please, can you not? Because imagine you being the only black girl in a white predominantly group going all around the world, and some people think that there's another black girl in the group, and you're not the only one. Because sometimes she's darker than you in some videos and photos. Come on, man. Y'all gotta... I gotta read, Nicki. I was so disappointed in you, Nicki. Because you're so here for the black woman, Nicki. You're always here for the black woman. We're not gonna say here Nicki was racist. She's not racist. Nicki has always been about the black woman and uplifting. I can't talk. Nicki has always been about uplifting black women and making sure they have their voice. So to see her almost take up for Jesy without even, and calling it jealousy and calling it envy and saying, if you want a solo career, you go ahead and do that. Whoa. And those who released those fake ass screenshots, by the way? I was like, girl, what? What is this? And let me tell you something. Even if Leanne was DMing a blog or anybody to make a video about Jesy, no, I never got DM'd, but if she was DMing somebody, even if that was the case, what is the problem? She can't have her voice? She can't speak up? If there is a problem, and she's been probably keeping silent for 10 years, honey, please, this entertainment business, Nicki, stop playing with me. You know this entertainment business is tired and shiesty maybe for 10 years, bitch, on the same bus, on the same video shoot, even when you were shooting for women like me, I can't say anything because it will cause rift, and we got millions of dollars on the line. Y'all better act like y'all know something up in here. Nicki, I was so disappointed in you, and you still acting like Leanne. First of all, bitch. Don't make it seem like Leanne is looking at you and Jesy like a jealousy moment. Girl, please. Let it go. The song and the moment lasted maybe 24 hours. Let's just be real here, girl. So let's not make it seem like y'all moved a mountain, bitch. It's a cute collab. Off your back, Nicki. Ooh. It's a cute collab, but it's off your back. So that's why you want to defend it to the high utmost, why you keep dragging it, because it's off your back, bitch. And you know that. You know this. And I wouldn't be surprised if y'all label, because y'all signed to the same label, you and Jesy. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all, made a little marketing ploy to really get us talking, which we're doing, about Jesy and about Leanne and about the mess in Little Mix. And I'm so happy, and I hope Little Mix does not respond. I really do. I hope Little Mix does not respond. I hope they don't say anything. I don't blame Little Mix for not responding. If they don't say anything at all, who gives a shit? I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care not one bit. What I would do is tell my truth, though. Because the thing is, let me tell you, that's why Jesy sat there. Miss Jesy, you know I love you, girl. You know I live for you. I do. But I don't know what you and the girls have gone through. I don't know to the extent, at least, of what you and the girls have gone through behind the scenes. And I respect all four of you girls individually and together. It really hurts my heart, Jesy, to watch you sit there and let Nicki say all those things about Leanne and calling her out and making her feel like she's jealous and all these things. When you know more tea than you're leading off to be. You know more. You do, Jesy. Stop playing. You know. You know, girl. Now. Okay, so moving on, right? Black women have been the blueprint. Black women have been the blueprint for this fucking industry forever. Not just now, not just a couple years ago, before it was Black Lives Matter and all this. Black women have been the blueprint for this industry and have been carrying it on their backs for years, been underprivileged, underpaid, underacknowledged, stolen from. Girl, this is nothing new. So that's why I was really heartbroken to see Nicki be like, well, y'all the Kardashians been doing it and y'all favorites been doing it. Nicki? No. You can be mad at me all you want, you barbs, you delusional barbs, or can try me all you want. But the real barbs know the tea. They know Nicki looked crazy, right? And that was the one time that we all was like, oh, no. This ain't the right thing to say, bitch. Rewind. Take it back. But then you double down on it. Black women have been getting stolen from for years. Their identity. Bitch, I remember since we're talking about the Kardashians, when the braids and things were I want braids because Kardashians got it. Bitch, I remember when I first started YouTube, I had locks and dreads and braids and shit back a time ago. And I went to go apply for a job. Bitch, they told me to cut that shit out my head because it's not appropriate for fucking protocol and uniform. Girl, if I'm getting that as a black man, imagine as a black woman, where this is my heritage, this is my lifestyle, bitch, this is how I grow my hair. What are you talking about? This is a protective style for me. See, it's so many other instances that we can go on, but that is why it really pisses me off to see not just Jesy, because it's not just a Jesy problem. I hope you all understand this is not just a Jesy, let's rain on Jessy's parade. That's not the problem here. We're using Jesy as an example, unfortunately. Because it's been talked about once before with her, one, and two, it's so blatant that it's getting done that it's like that appropriating our culture and using it for profit, and it's kind of sad to see a black woman co-sign it. Like, yeah, well, it's jealousy from other girls and whatever. No, it's not. It's a real problem. We have to continue to protect our black women. We have to continue, and I'm not trying to get political up here. I'm not a politician. I'm not a preacher. But I've just been raised by wonderful black women in my life. And I just know how strong they are. So that's why I go so hard for them and also let them know when they're wrong because they let me know when I'm wrong, okay? And I appreciate my black women for talking to me in my last video, in my comments, like, bitch, wait a minute, Zach, read this again. Look through this again, Zach. Watch this again, Zach, through our lenses and see how this hurts. I have too many black women in my life to just sit back and be like, oh, well, maybe it's just this. No, bitch, it's what it is. And it's getting tiring. We have to protect our black women. As black men, we have to protect black women. As black women, we have to protect black women and our black trans women. We have to, girl, Girl. Girl. Speaking of black trans women, Dave Chappelle, right? We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We have to go there. I have to. I can't just let this slide. I watched the special. I don't think it should have been removed. Ooh, unpopular opinion. I don't think that Dave Chappelle's program should have been removed or taken down. Or I don't think it was... And the reason why I don't think it needs to be taken down, or I don't think that it should be removed, or he should be canceled and all this and all that, is because watching this special, I'm not going to give the special away because I think if you want to really know what's going on, you should watch it for yourself. And I'm not promoting it. I'm not trying, I grew up on comedy, right? I grew up watching your Cat Williams, your Chris Rocks, your Dave Chappelle's, okay? Your Bernie Macs. I grew up on that. And I remember gays being the butt of the joke for a long, long time. But it's like, okay, so I'm from Detroit, right? And from the hood, being gay was funny. It was, it was maliciously funny, but it was funny, right? That people used to make fun of me for being too fruity or too feminine. And I remember being so upset and being so ashamed and being so sick of it that, like, why would you make fun of me? I used to think that I was less than. And then it kind of dawned on me. I said, wait a minute. I said, bitch, I'm sickening. And you're probably mad because you want to be sickening like me or you want to sleep with me, one or the other, okay? Listen, I'm not trans, so I can't sit up here and tell you as a trans person, if you're watching this, how to feel. I can't tell you what to be offended by. Bitch, I'm a black gay man, which is not trans, so I cannot say what they should be offended by or what they should not. My trans brothers and sisters could feel how they want to feel because that group of people have been the joke forever. And not in a malicious way of, haha, you're gay, you're fruity. No. There used to be, you're a creature, you're an alien, you're a mythological creature, you're not real, you're a science project. Like, it gets dark for my trans brothers and sisters. So I completely, if my camera keeps going out of focus, I don't know why, I'm sorry. But I completely understand the offensiveness and the sensitivity towards jokes about the community. I completely understand why they felt a way of like, bitch, you know what? You talking about us again? I don't want to watch it. I don't care. But watching that program and knowing Dave Chappelle and knowing comedy, I thought it was one of the most intellectually smart things ever from a comedian, from a black man from an older generation that probably made worse jokes than he did that night and learned from his mistakes and had a trans best friend. And that's now, after his trans best friend killed herself, is now taking care of her daughter, putting a trust fund towards this trans woman's daughter because he's close to that family like that, right? But he kept emphasizing that, yes, I'm transphobic, I'm Dave Chappelle and I'm transphobic. Because he knows, and he said, I guarantee you the people that's gonna say that I'm putting the community down or all this and all that, never watched me, never watched my show, never bought a ticket to my show. They won't even watch this special to know what's really going on. They're gonna take the headlines and run with it. He said it on purpose. It was an experiment, and it happened, and it worked, which is why he said, I'm finally canceled. This is what it feels like. I like it. Watching that special, Dave Chappelle educated, and more than educated, he was talking about protecting black trans lives, black gay lives. And I think that's when the disconnect started to happen. I'm going to be honest. I think that, because at the end of the special, there's a whole, he was, reminiscing on his life and journey over COVID and the Black Lives Matter. He put a poster, big and bold, protect black lives, protect trans black lives. Now, no, he did not say protect trans lives. He said protect black trans lives. Say their names. And if you would have watched it, you would have known. You would have known. No disrespect to the trans community whatsoever. Disrespect in the way of making a joke, yes. And should we still be joking about the trans community? No. So I understand I understand why there's uproar and upset from the trans community. Because I'm not trans, so I can't sit up here and say he was wrong. That's not my place to do that, right? But what I will say, I know homophobia. I know I've seen homophobia. And I know when somebody really tries to demean or take away or put down our community. And Dave Chappelle did not do that. He made jokes. That's his job. Unfortunately, he made jokes and he makes jokes about white people. White people is really the people that he goes for the most. White people should be offended, if anything, from Dave Chappelle. He has gone off, he's walked away from the reason why he walked away from $50 million is because of white people. And the reason why I brought Dave Chappelle up in this whole blackfishing thing is because if you think about it, right? Big problems like homophobia, especially in the gay world, gay white men, no shade to y'all, but y'all feel like a minority until you realize you still have privilege. And I, as a black gay man, do not have the same privilege as you. Can you be gay and still racist? Is one of the questions he said in his special. And everybody was like, yeah, you can. Because you can. You still can. As much as you shouldn't be, but you can. In my personal opinion, I just feel that Dave Chappelle was making a point of saying, protect my people. Trans, gay, non-binary, anything that you identify as, that's not the problem. That's not the big issue. But protect them because they're black first, right? And that's the thing. We make all these movements and stuff like that in the gay community and the trans community, but sometimes it's only being, publicized or huge when it's white associated with it. And I think that's where the joke and his message kind of got, at least in the trans community, where it got lost. Because all they saw was you're joking about trans people again. And usually black people do not get trans. And he even said that in the special. Like, you just watch the special. It's really not what you think it is. But and as I was looking at the uproar, it was a lot of white trans people that was talking about it. But that's just like the point that he was trying to make. And so that's just that. But my point of bringing him in was he is saying protect black people, protect black women, protect black trans women, protect black gay men. Like, we have to protect our people. We have to. We have to. And that's why people are mad at Nicki, a little bit mad at Jesy because she's appropriating it. No, I don't think Jesy wants to be black. I think she knows that she's white. But like I said, marketing, like I said, appeal to the market. Oh, yes. You got, these are things you have to talk about. These are things that are real. But it's being painted as something else when I feel like we need to talk about the real shit. Like, this is what's happening. And like I said, to my trans brothers and sisters, if you feel like Dave Chappelle is still asinine and has no right to joke about trans lives, you're completely correct. You are completely correct. But what he did was, and I'm just informing you, he was trying to educate himself and other people on trans lives. He did not one time misgender anybody. He did not try to make people look at trans people as a problem or they don't belong at all. Just telling jokes. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you to not be offended because that's not my place, right? That's not my place. But I just want to let you know, as my trans brothers and sisters, I love you. And I would always find when somebody is trying to attack you. And in that special, if you like comedy at least, if you don't like comedy, then you probably won't find it funny at all. But in that special, it's more of it's more of a knowledge that he was teaching more than trying to make fun of, but he did it with jokes. And that's all I'm saying. That's all with that. But he was protecting his black folk, regardless of whatever walk of life that you walk. That's all. And that's why I stand with the special. I think it's actually kind of sick and kind of dope that he even did that, to be honest. And I felt that. I felt the heart behind it. I did. And to Jesy, I love you, but I need you to be honest. I need you to be real When you come out with your next song, bitch, do you. Like, really, show us you. I want to see more of you. No samples, no features. Lighten the tan a little bit. And give me you. Because, bitch, you're talented without all this mass hysteria around you. You're special. To my bitch, Leanne, I am with you, bitch. I'm walking with you. I have your back. I understand as being a black woman in a predominantly white group and a predominantly white industry, especially with pop music and things like that. I understand, bitch. I understand. Raise your kids and congratulations on everything, bitch. And to Nicki, I love you too, bitch. But don't make that mistake again, girl. I know that you probably got some coin off of this and you need some streams to go up and you want, you don't want to feel crazy for back. I get it. I get it. But girl, now. All in all, I know this Skype call was almost 50 minutes long. It's a very long one. If you're on Patreon, then you got it first. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to actually have a little moment on Patreon after this. After this goes live, we're going to have probably a live session on Patreon and talk about it live. So if you want to be there, you should probably sign up for Patreon. If you're already here, hey, Patreon members, I love you so much. What's up, girl? And I love you guys for watching. I love you guys for listening on this call for this long. If you hung up in between, I understand. But if you made it to the end of this call, comment below, I'm here, bitch. Literally, just comment that. I'm here, bitch. I'm still here, bitch. Okay? I'm still here, bitch. I love you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one.